Liesel nodded, yes. I can forgive you. Good. Now, he took a breath. This is hard for me because I've never done anything like this in my life, especially after such a short period, but I have something I need to say to you, and I need you to hear me. Please hear me. She couldn't look away from him. He was intense and serious as he surveyed her. I'm listening. Good. I was annoyed on Friday morning when you told me how you felt. I knew it, she muttered. He chuckled. Not because of what you said, but because of the timing and the delivery. He pushed off the chair and moved to kneel in front of hers, reaching for her hands. Liesel, you have a very expressive face. Your actions and mannerisms give away what your face doesn't. Did you really think you were hiding it while you've fallen in love with me? She blinked, her eyes feeling huge in her head as she felt the blush burning her entire body. He lifted his palm to her cheek. I already knew, love. I knew. You have no need to say the words, I can feel it. I can feel your love as sure as I can feel your skin on my hand. I didn't say the words. She protested. I never said. I know, he smiled gently, you danced around it like the diplomat you try to be, but subtlety isn't your forte. You're the most expressive person I know, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. I love how I can read your moods without you even needing to speak. You're open and honest and true to yourself, and I never want you to change this. Not ever. You were angry. I was annoyed, not angry, but not because of what you said. It was because you took the time to tell me you cared deeply for me on the phone while I was an ocean away. Liesel, I've never told a woman who is not related to me that I love them. His words made her blink in shock. Really? Really? I've had relationships and girlfriends, but I've never had the compulsion to tell someone I love them. I thought perhaps it's not part of my genetic code to utter the words. Oh. She blinked, looking away quickly, her lips pouting at his admission. And therefore, since it's the first time in my entire life I was going to say those words to a woman, I didn't want it to be while I was in Portugal and you were here, via telephone, without the ability to see how my words impacted you and for you to see I meant them. Her heart skipped a beat as she let out a puff of air from her chest. Oh. I love you, Liesel. His thumb caught a tear off the corner of her eye. It might only be a month of dating, but I love you. I never want to be without you. My first thoughts every day are of you, and the last ones I have before I fall asleep are of you. In the last month I have found myself more than once in the middle of something only to find my mind has wandered off and I'm daydreaming of you, wondering what it is you are doing and if you're smiling. You make me happier than I have been in a long time, and I don't know where this is going. I can't say with certainty we'll end up married, with a giant family, splitting our time between the house here and the estate in Portugal until we're old and grey, but I do know you're the first woman I've ever been with where the thought popped into my head. Her breath felt like it was wheezing in her chest, emotions clogging her throat at his heartfelt declarations. Really? You love me? Desperately, consumingly, with every ounce of my being. He whispered. I've never been an emotional type who spills his feelings, but Liesel, I love and adore you to pieces. You love me, she said at this time as a statement, proud as she basked in his admission. I wanted to get here, pull you away from the crowd, and tell you what was on my mind and in my heart. I wanted us to spend the evening together with my family so they could get to know you, and then I wanted to bring you home and love you until dawn. Instead, I got caught up in my anger and frustration at how the McGrath family is constantly and forever intermingled with my world. I want them gone and out of our lives forever, and I know I can't make it happen because your sister is married to them and you'll be bound by a nephew. They frustrate the fuck out of me because I want you to myself and I want you safe and they're in the way. I'm sorry my baggage is affecting us. Her apology felt too little for the damage done. They are my baggage too, babe. I've had them on my radar for years. Eventually, I was coming for them, and I knew once I started this battle it would be a war they wouldn't want to walk away from. I was fine with starting a war with them, Liesel, until you. Now, knowing how much Trent McGrath is preoccupied with you, I'm wishing I had simply walked away from them and never looked back. She frowned. I wanted my revenge too. I know, and frankly, we both got what we wanted, but the cost is them being focused on us to a frightening degree. He put recording devices in your home, Liesel. She could see the anger coming to the surface again, and she cupped his cheeks. I don't care. I don't care what they do, or what they try to do. All I care about is you and me starting whatever this journey is together and being true to who we are. I don't know what I ever did in my life to deserve you, but I love you. I love you, Isaias. It's all fast and sudden, but I love you very much. I'm terrified, I'm rushing things and chasing you off. I know I said too much the other night on the phone, but I'd had wine and I was missing you desperately. I needed to say it. It didn't matter to me it was on the phone, I was simply thinking if anything ever happened, and I didn't try to tell you then I wouldn't forgive myself. She was rambling and stuttering, shakily reaching her fingers to touch his cheek, tears flowing freely now. I love you. I love you. He repeated the words back to her, his voice raspy with emotion. I wanted to see you when I said those words and not blurt them on the phone. I understand now, she whispered, leaning forward until her forehead touched his. I should have known better. I didn't exactly handle it well. He laughed, sliding his hand under her legs and behind her back, scooping her from the chair as he rose up from his squatted position. Let's see if I can make it up to you. Hope bloomed in her chest at his passionate statement. Liesl smiled as Isaias laid down with her in the middle of the bed and stared into her eyes. You're so beautiful. How the hell did a woman as beautiful inside and out come from the same people who created the vile creature I encountered downstairs? I don't know, but I am sorry for putting you in her path. You know what? I don't care, he said simply. I don't care who is in our path. I simply want my path to be one I'm walking with you. I like that. Now, he said, yanking the ties of her robe. I noted the dress is hanging on the closet door, and I am desperate to see what was under it. Oh, really? You'll be disappointed to know the lacy undergarments I especially picked out are also gone. Even better. He tugged the robe open to reveal her nudity and gave a wide grin at her naked form. Damn, you're incredible. He leaned into her and kissed her mouth, dragging his lips across hers slowly. Liesl was sitting at the dining room table with her sketch pad as she worked on her grandmother's painting, focused on the task at hand. In drawing the rough sketches so far, she was becoming increasingly aware of the beauty the woman possessed. She desperately wanted her work to capture not only the strength and poise of her physical body but the spirit and valor of her soul. Her grandmother was a fierce woman, and as she worked on this project, she felt a kinship with her. Isaias had been in his office working, but the tread of his footsteps approaching made her look up and smile at him. They'd only been home a couple of hours after leaving the hotel in the early morning to come home to get comfortable. He kissed the top of her head and then whistled as he looked at the sketch. Grandma looks hot. She smacked him, not funny. There's a reason your grandfather kept her barefoot and pregnant most of her 20s. She's smoking. Liesl grinned. She's a chain smoker. I should probably add a cigarette in her fingers and a plume of smoke. He laughed and sat down next to her. She seems the type to accept her flaws. She definitely is, and she'll point yours out too. Speaking of people with flaws, Enia called. She rolled her eyes as he made fun of his sister. What did we do now? Did the paparazzi see us leaving the hotel room at 6 in the morning? No, but there was quite the complaint about her distracting the woman working the counter so I could look up which room you were in. What? Is this how you found my room? Yes. Good old-fashioned seduction techniques. We were going to use Mallory until Enia realized the woman batted for the opposite team. She made out with her and got her fingers dirty. Ew! She blushed at his words. I did not need to know this part. She's quite proud of herself. Seems it's a personal record from flirt to fuck for Enia. Oh my god. Anyway, Mom is annoyed our evening out as a family went to hell in a handbasket last night, so she tasked Enia with arranging dinner for the 5 of us tonight. I said I'd ask since you've been through the ringer the last 24 hours. Do you feel like getting prettied up for dinner tonight? Sure. She smiled. I didn't really get a chance to chat with your father. Great. I'll let her know to go ahead and book the restaurant. Mom doesn't feel like cooking since she did all the cooking when we were back home. Back home? You were born here in New Hampshire, yet Portugal is back home? It is. My parents came from Lisbon, and while we are infinitely grateful to be living the true American dream, moving here was a hard and difficult decision for my folks, and most of our family still resides there. Joaquim's parents moved here, and I have a couple of cousins like Mallory who are here, but the rest all stayed behind. When most of your family is away, home is where they are. I get what you're saying, but our family has been here since some of the first settlers. My father and his father traced their ancestry back a couple of 100 years. As much as your family wanted to come here to explore and live their dreams, I always wanted to live in another country and explore diverse cultures. You never did? No. When I was younger, I had an adventurer's spirit but a pauper's purse. She grinned at his chuckle, and then I married young. If you could go anywhere? London, Paris, Amsterdam, Tokyo, Sydney. She spouted cities off the top of her head. I had a college professor who traveled the world with her children when they were small. They did everything from living in Paris and strolling the Champs to sleeping in yurts in South America. Her kids had this incredible worldview and the ability to speak multiple languages from being immersed in so much culture. I mean, they were quirky as fuck too. One of the kids was 16 and refused to wear clothes which hadn't been handmade, and another one refused to cut his hair. It was down to his ass, and he was 14 or 15. What a life though. Can you imagine? He smiled at her exuberance. Yet you never traveled? No. Merlin was always on about making CEO before 35 and how we had to buckle down and be focused. We started dating and I was only 20. I will take you to Paris. I will take you to London. I'll even sleep with you in a yurt. Costa Rica is beautiful. I bet you would love it there. Lisbon is a city I would love to take you through, and then Spain and Italy would be fun to tour. She gave a tight smile. You're a busy man, Isaias. Billionaires can't just up and leave their companies to go gallivanting all over the world. I can get Wi-Fi anywhere, love. He gave a shrug. I'm feeling a bit of a disconnect with my work lately, especially after the shit with Trent trying to get the movie star to screw me over. I'm getting tired of dealing with fragile egos and temperamental starlets. He lifted her hand off the table. I have a talented team, and though I have expanded my offices, I will be delegating the more demanding clients to my seniors. My offices in New York, LA, London, and Tokyo are all managed by incredibly capable individuals who know how to run the show. My offices here, I have delegated much of the work. He looked around the room. This house. I love it, but I have nothing left to do in it, and I would very much like to start a new project. I enjoy the creative process very much. If you could pick a project right now to start without worrying about your business or the company you run, work on something new, what would it be? He leaned back as he considered it and then smiled. I want to rebuild a farm, a homestead. Really? She was stunned. No way. Yup. Find an old fixer-upper with a big old farmhouse and a big barn. Restore it back to its original glory. Build a greenhouse and grow vegetables. Get some chickens. I'm not saying I want a big working farm by any stretch because I'm not a cowboy, but on a homestead, there is always work with your hands. Always. I miss the calluses. He grinned. I would work on my own home and then maybe take 1 or 2 projects a year to keep my creativity going, but really limit the number of contracts. Right now, I average over 8,000 contracts per year for new and existing builds. Can you imagine how sexy of a creation I could make if I whittled it down to 2 per year? Then why don't you? He sighed. It's not always so simple. There's always something else popping up, and walking away is always hard. True. She nodded as his phone rang to prove his point. Duty calls? He looked to the phone and frowned. Mallory. He's at the front gate, so not sure why he's calling. He answered it. What's up, little cousin? There is a Lorraine Wilson here to see Liesel. Says she's her mother and wants to talk to her. Isaias raised an eyebrow at Liesel, who gave a one-shouldered shrug. Send her up, but she is not to bring anyone in with her. If Sandy is with her, send them packing. She's alone. We'll be right there. Mallory hung up. Do you want me to stay or give you privacy? I'd like to introduce you at least. She squeezed his hand. I've met your mom. It's only fair you meet mine. Though, she smirked, yours is way cooler than mine. He leaned forward to kiss her lips softly. I will stay here with you then. Thank you, Isaias. It is my absolute pleasure to be here for you. Liesel felt a sense of safety she hadn't known she needed, and it felt good. Really good.